Okay. Yeah. With last question. So this is a little bit shifting gears a little bit, but I guess we talked offline a little bit about the fact that Jetstack had done quite a lot of work to, just generally in measuring metrics around open source usage. And we talk about metrics a lot on this podcast. And I'm really curious, when Jetstack was first really getting off the ground, what were you all looking at in terms of what you were trying to really measure and optimize, or were you at the time?
We weren't really measuring much at all. Like the only thing that I could measure it by, without knowing much about how you would look at the metrics at all, was number of people coming up to me at a conference talking about our project, which was quite high, and they were very passionate around it. So there was I distinctly remember a group of guys from Finland coming over saying, "You've saved so much time. Here's a $200 bottle of vodka. We have to drink it together now. Thank you so much." And I was like, well, that's a good sign. But that and GitHub stars, and literally it was stars. It wasn't even anything else. And that was, in some ways, and then obviously number of people mentioning on Twitter, the number of people joining our Slack channel, the number of people from the CNCF that were contacting me about it. It was very messy, and I didn't have any really good sense of it. So yeah, it was stars. It was my own subjective feelings on how many people contacted me about it, and how they talked about it and responded to it. And then and then the really exciting thing was when it started to show up in companies that we were talking to, and that was really exciting. But that my concept and thinking around it changed immeasurably over time, especially after we were acquired, because I looked in 2019 as to whether we should take a product path and take funding around building a product and trying to scale that way, or to keep with services. And being acquired for effectively an opportunity to build a product around Cert Manager meant that we had to do a lot more work into looking at the metrics, and it's only really in the past 2 or 3 years. And remember, a form of Cert Manager has been around since 2015 or 16 in Cube Lego. It's only the past couple of years that I've really understood the importance of metrics and actually had to go about it in a bit of a better way. And it's very illuminating, and it's incredibly powerful and important. So anyone who's listening, I would say it's something you should be thinking about sooner rather than later.
Is there one metric now that you kind of, for you as a business at your stage, kind of trumps all?
No, and we struggle to actually we struggle to sort of boil it down. So actually, what we've done is we measure a lot of things, and then there are a few in our KPIs that we keep track of.
Okay.
And so I think it's percent, it's contributions, it's still GitHub stars, it's growth of the Slack channel, and it's Docker pulls.
Okay.
Those are the ones that we kind of look at and sort of kind of triangulate into like a health score, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great set for people to look at. Definitely.
Absolutely.